Okay, so we've not done these sets for a while with the Venn diagrams, but what I've got is I've got A and B. In the middle is going to be anything which is in both sets. So 2 is in both sets, 3 is in both sets, and 5 is in both sets. Apart from that, B has got 9, but A doesn't have it, and A has got 4 and 7. So I've accounted for all of them. Now, we need to remember this notation. So this P here stands for the probability. So find the probability that, now this is the intersection sign, and we can say and is in when we see it. Okay, so it's in A and it's in not B, because it's a B with a dash. Okay, so it's in A, but it also must be not in B. So there's only 2 numbers here which are in A and not in B. So there's 2 numbers. Okay, so probability of it's in A and it's not in B out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So 2 out of 6, which is the same as 1/3. Okay, so angle SRT is 53 degrees to the nearest degree. ST is 17 centimeters to the nearest centimeter. Work out the upper bound for the length of RS. So I'm going to try to find this. Now the first thing is I've got an angle and a side here. So I'm going to, if I make that angle theta, and that there is going to be my opposite side, and I want to find this, which is my hypotenuse. So I've got opposite and hypotenuse, so I know I'm going to need the sine, so I know I'm going to need sine. So sine of theta is going to be equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So 17 over RS. It's not going to be 17 actually, let's just put opposite for now, over RS. So now I need to work out, in order to find the maximum length there, whether I'm going to need the maximum or the minimum and that kind of thing. So to make the maximum side length here, I'm going to need as much to play with as possible. So I want to use the maximum possible size of this length here, and that is 17.5. So I'm going to do sine of theta is 17.5 over RS. Now, the thing is, SRT is 53 degrees to the nearest degree, and I want to see, right, do I need the maximum possible? Does it need to be 53.5 or the minimum possible, 52.5? And I'm going to draw a diagram to help explain that. So if you imagine a triangle with a kind of, that looks like that, this is quite similar in length to this one. Okay, if I imagine a triangle like this, these are quite similar lengths. Okay, and the maximum length this could be for any side length there would be if this is 45 degrees. That's going to maximize the side length. Okay, so this is going to create the maximum hypotenuse, you know, versus the side. Okay, maximum hypotenuse length. So what I want to do is have this as close to 45 degrees as possible. So I'm going to use the smaller value, 52.5. So I'm going to do sine 52.5 equals 17.5 over RS. So RS is going to be 17.5 over sine 52.5. Put that in my calculator. I've not got a very good calculator here, but you guys do. Someone's stolen mine. So 17.5 divided by sine, I'm not even sure how this one works, sine 52.5. Is that right? 23.83. That's not right? Now borrow a better calculator. Right, 17.5 divided by sine 52.5 equals, there we go, 22. Right, now the upper bound, I want to try to keep as much accuracy as possible unless they tell me to give it to a certain amount. 0.8526725. If the exam question says to give it to a certain amount, then do that. Okay. Y equals fx, which is drawn here, has a minimum point at -7, -4. The graph of y equals fx plus a, so the same graph as this one, but plus a, has a minimum point at -7, 0. So what I'm saying is, this is my new graph. So what's that a have to be? Well, it's just shifted up 4. The value of a is 4. Make y the subject here. So 8 over x equals 3 over y plus 2/5. What I need to do if I'm adding these is I want a common denominator. So I'm going to have, what I'm going to have on the bottom is 5y plus something over 5y. This I had to times by 5 on the bottom and the top, so I get 15. And this I had to times by y, so I got 2y. So I've got 15 plus 2y over 5y equals 8 over x. So I need to make y the subject. So I'm going to multiply both sides by y, and I'll multiply both sides by x as well. So that gives me 15x plus 2xy equals 40y. Next move, I'm running out of space a bit here, so I'll continue on a bit of paper here. So I need to make y the subject, so let's have all the y parts on one side, everything else on the other. So I got 40y minus 2xy equals 15x. Let's factorize the y out. So I got y 40 minus 2x equals 15x. So y is equal to 15x over 40 minus 2x. Last question. Formula for a circle is x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared. So the radius squared is 9, so the radius is 3. Sketch the graph with a radius 3 circle